Before I get started, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone, who do rule and teach well. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect, tabernacle of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. So, back with another lesson through the Spirit. And as you can see the title, Babylon is going out of business. Now, Babylon been going out of business for a long time. See, but we're in a time now where it's pretty much over, all the way over, to where people are losing jobs left and right. Esau, he's cracking down. He's causing it to where now people don't even have a livelihood to sustain themselves or their families, man. So a lot of people in this day and time, they're crashing out. They're not comfortable. They're not living the American dream. Because one thing about these Americans, these Babylonians, is they were taught from a young age, and even us, like we were taught from a young age, go to school, get a good career, get a degree, get a good paying job, and have the nice house, the white picket fence, and all those things, right? Now, for Jake, that wasn't really a reality. Now, some Jakes have had the American dream, but for majority of Jake, it's pretty much been like you living paycheck to paycheck, right? But that was mainly, the American dream was mainly for these Edomites, and they're really the ones that are on social media complaining, talking about how the cost of living is so high, they can't do certain things that they used to do. And really for them, it's not even that bad yet. It's just compared to what they're used to. Because see, Edomites, they're used to taking 2, 3, 4 vacations a year, all right? They're used to living in a nice big house with the big backyard, the dog, and, pool in the backyard and all that. Like, they're used to that standard of living, Jake ain't used to that. So Jake is pretty much, like, this is just another Friday, or, this is just another day in the life of Jake. But these Edomites, they feeling it hard, man, because they've been given this society. All right, this society was built for them, so now that the elites are pretty much tanking America, they done with it, they're drying everything up systematically. Now you got these Edomites ready to crash out. Okay, and this is why, not to get off topic, but this is why this election is so important for these Edomites, man, because they need a solution to the ill that's going on in America, Babylon the Great. See, and Kamala, she's not an option. Nobody else is an option except Trump. So the way that the elites have set this thing up, they're framing mischief by law. Okay, they've let millions of migrants over the border. See, now they're letting the migrants take the jobs. See, they're giving migrants, housing. They're giving them cars. They're setting them up in the nicest parts of town, right? And guess who they making pay for? They making the American taxpayer, all right, pay for all this, man. See, so people not happy. People, and as Yahushua said in Matthew the 24th chapter, the beginning of sorrows, right? 2nd Ezra 16, the beginning of sorrows. People, this is a very sorrowful time where, the mirth of the land is gone, all right? People is out here drinking, gambling, doing different activities to cope with their worsening reality. But see, what they fail to realize is that the worst is yet to come. This is just the tip of the iceberg. The Lord about to really open up on these people, man. So going into Babylon is going out of business. Check this out. This is from Yahoo News, and it says AI-powered robots could mean job losses on farms and in construction. Check that out. So one thing about it, ever since they really started implementing this AI heavy into people's jobs and things like that, the tech sector, medical, even now on Google, right? Even now on Google, when you type in a question, there's an AI synopsis that comes up now. See, so they've even implemented the AI into Google. So a lot of them people that work at Google, and we'll get into it, but this is part of those tech layoffs, man. But even a lot of them people that work at these certain, Yahoo or Google, Bing, MSN, whatever you want to name these tech websites, a lot of them is getting laid off, man, in droves. And it's been going on, for years now, but especially since the start of the pandemic, like 2020 to now, the layoffs in these certain sectors have been profound. Okay, but yeah, so they're now saying that AI-powered robots are pretty much going to take the farm jobs and construction. You know what I'm saying? Which you would think that farms and construction jobs are labor jobs, so you need physical human beings to work these certain industries. But that's not the case, because they're going to put robots in there to replace your ass. See? So this is all being systematically done by the powers that be to push you out and to pretty much make you completely depend on the elites, man. All of this is what's coming down, what's being framed right now. This is being set up for you to take the MOTB. This is all being set up for you to accept that UBI, to get comfortable with this system. You see what I'm saying? This is a very well thought out and cunningly devised plan by the devil. All right? So I'll read a little bit of it here. It says, there have been warnings for decades that robots could replace people working in manufacturing and agriculture. And when you go back to the movie that came out years ago, with Will Smith, what's the name of that? iRobot, right? When you go back to iRobot, it showed you in there that the robots pretty much took over society. You know what I'm saying? And eventually the robots ended up turning on the very humans that created them. See? So we're living in a time where these things are about to become reality. You're seeing it in your face. All right? They got robots patrolling the streets now. You know what I'm saying? They got robot dogs. They got surveillance bots out here roaming the streets, man. So they've already put these things out there in your face for you to see now. But now they're saying that even farming and construction is not safe. And you have a lot of brothers that do construction. You know what I'm saying? You have a lot of brothers that work in the construction sector, engineering, working on buildings, roads, things like that. So even now, those jobs are at risk too. So what is the Most High trying to show us through all this? The Most High is showing us that we are not to trust in a broken reed, man. The Most High is showing us that this is truly not our rest. Okay, because on paper, you could be the Jake that did everything right. You could be the Jake that went to school, did your, due diligence, paid your dues and whatever, and you got your degrees and all this and that, right? But what about now? What good is that going to do you now when they're going to have robots come and take your employment away from you? See? And it doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur, because actually, if you're an entrepreneur now, it's even worse. Because the amount of fines and things that they're going to hit you with in order to get up to speed with the program, that's going to put you out of business in and of itself. Okay? No matter what business that you got going on, like there's going to come a point where they're going to pretty much force you to implement this AI, man. And if you don't, it's going to be harsh consequences. See, this is why ever since the pandemic came in, many mom and pop businesses have gone out of business and haven't come back. See, because the cost of doing business now outweighs the reward, man. Because back in the days, they actually used to reward small businesses for being in operation. Now they're penalizing them because they don't want that to exist no more. All right. So this is what Esau got going on. It says more recently, concerns have grown that AI could do the same with some white-collar jobs. The use of robots has been growing with, check this out, 3.9 million of them operational in manufacturing around the world. 151 per 10,000 employees, double what it was 6 years ago, according to the International Federation of Robotics. The number could keep rising if enough AI-powered humanoid robots are produced. And that's a big push. These AI-powered humanoid robots, man. That's a huge push right now. All right, like I've been seeing videos on TikTok to where people that work on these robots, They're pretty much saying that the people that employ them to work on these robotics, they're pretty much being, work to the bone, man. Like they're working around the clock, overtime, consistently. You know what I mean? Because they're really trying to, get up to speed with this new wave, man. Like they're really trying to crank these robots out so they can put these things in society. All right, so this is a very dystopian time that we're approaching. You see what I'm saying? Like Esau, he's really on some Matrix type shit, man. It's like, and we know that this world is not what it seems to be. Like, the spirit reveals that to us, but at the same time, the people that live in this shit, man, they're about to be woken up to what's really real. Because they've really been living a fantasy for the entirety of their lives. You see what I'm saying? Like you thought you was good when you was comfortable. You know what I'm saying? You had your house, you had your career. You thought, yeah, in 40 years, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I can save up, I can do this, I can do that. Now you can't even save because your expenses are getting higher. And why is that? Because the dollar is on the way out, man. The dollar store ain't even a dollar store no more now. It's $1.50. You see what I'm saying? $5 and below ain't even $5 and below no more. Now it's you know what I'm saying, $5.50, $6, $7 and up. But the point is, man, these people are being taken out of their comfort zone. See? And this is why the Most High deals with us as he deals with us in his truth, because he doesn't want us to get comfortable. You know what I'm saying? The Most High don't want us to get acclimated to this place like that, because eventually we gonna have to walk away from it, give it up, because Esau, he gonna come and say, yo, if you want to keep this, you gotta accept this charagma, you know what I'm saying, or you gotta sign up for this, and we not going for all of that, man. But the people that are of this world, they're gonna be tried, they're gonna be tempted. See, and that goes into the hour of temptation. Revelation 3:10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world. See, this thing's gonna be upon all the world. It ain't just gonna be in America, Canada, Mexico, South America. This thing gonna be upon all the world. And this is why when you look around the world, if you're paying attention to world news, pretty much all nations around the earth, man, they're pushing the same agenda. They're all going digital. They're all drying up the jobs in these certain nations, man, because why? They want people to bow down and worship the image of the beast, man. See, this is Esau's last ditch effort, a very desperate attempt to gain back the birthright. All right? And if you don't want to lay down, or slack it, or if you don't want to get down, Esau gonna make your ass lay down. Okay? He gonna knock you off. It's why you had that devil Klaus Schwab say that next year by 2025 they're looking to knock off at least 6 billion people off the planet. Okay? So what you gonna do about that? What kind of comfort you gonna have in that when even if you don't die, everyone around you is gonna die? You know what I'm saying? They gonna come down with some sort of sickness, like the scriptures tell you, man. What is that? 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, where it speaks about a man shall desire to hear another man's voice. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be like that. The dead shall be cast out as a dung. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be bodies dropping left and right. All these people that took the juice, you know what I'm saying? They got the juice up in them. It's gonna come a point, Esau gonna activate that frequency, and you gonna, be fried up inside, and you're gonna drop dead. All right? So very perilous times indeed. I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. You see, so the whole of the earth is going to go through this hour of temptation. Now, this hour of temptation is called the hour of temptation because it's not going to be some long drawn out period where Esau going to be having his way on the earth for years and years, and this just going to be a way of life. No, he going to do it. Esau is going to bring the hell. He's going to bring the MOTB. And then judgment gonna come like that. The Lord gonna raise up his standard against this devil, and he gonna take him down. All right? But this is an hour of temptation, man. A moment in time where the devil, he's gonna try your faith. All right? Really, Yahweh Bashmel Shai is gonna try your faith to see where you stand, to see if you really believe and trust upon him, or if you trust in Egypt, if you trust in Pharaoh. All right, this is what it's coming down to, man. Like this is the biggest test, man. And guess what? This right here, this is the test where if you fail, then you lose everything. Okay? If you take that charagma, you're gonna lose everything, man. The Lord not gonna have no mercy on you. All right? And it's gonna be known in that day that you wasn't the elect. It's gonna be known in that day that you wasn't chosen. See? So this, this is a very deadly, serious time, man. Deadly serious. And I emphasize the deadly because mass death is about to envelop the earth. You see? But people losing their jobs, people losing their sanity, crashing out. This is just the beginning of it. All right? Because look at what people were saying 4 years ago at the beginning of the pandemic. They was getting stimulus checks. They was being paid to sit at home on their ass and do nothing. You see what I'm saying? People got paid to do nothing. Matter of fact, in 2020, when the lockdowns came, and there's more lockdowns coming as well, with this mosquito thing, the Mpox, the bee flu, it's a whole lot of pestilence going around that they trying to bring these lockdowns back, right? But back in 2020, people was actually getting paid more from unemployment than they were working at their actual job, man. Whereas you contrast that to now, people are working, but people are getting less hours. You know what I'm saying? Their bills are more expensive. You see what I'm saying? Utilities, car note, car insurance, property tax. You see what I'm saying? All these things have gone up except your wages, except your paycheck, man. And that's done on purpose, all right, to put that squeeze on you so that you can beg and cry for that UBI, that universal basic income, and Esau can take advantage of you, man. So he can destroy you. All right, I just went into a lesson last night, the cunning hunter, all right, which, these are the tactics that the devil uses to snare you, all right? These are the tactics that the devil uses to hunt his prey. And who are the prey? Really, it's the people, but mainly you Israelites, man. Esau want to take you Israelites out because you are the inheritance of the kingdom of heaven. So he wants to destroy you and get you out the way, hoping that, this is what he's thinking in his sick, twisted mind. Well, if I destroy all the Israelites, then the rightful inheritors of the blessing won't be there to receive it. So the Most High will have to choose me and set me up. That's what Esau's thinking. So, this is why he's about to bring this mass death on the earth, which is really from, Yahweh Bashmiel Washad, as a judgment, man. These plagues are coming down as judgment. All right, but ultimately the elect are going to be kept through these things. All right, the Most High is going to keep his precious vine. The Most High is going to keep his faithful. He's going to keep his elect from the evil. You see? It says the number could keep rising if enough AI-powered humanoid robots are produced. According to investment bank Morgan Stanley, which speculated that converging trends could see large language model and ChatGPT style generative AI installed in people-shaped robots. And that right there, that's some sick shit. Because you actually got these robots that look like human beings, man. And you touch them, you feel them, it feel like human skin. And they've been working on these things for years. Like, I remember when I was younger, like, I saw stuff on YouTube, like they was having conventions with these humanoid robots, and they was talking and interacting, asking questions. Now it's more sophisticated. You know what I'm saying? Now it's more to the point where it's like, this is like they're really ready to roll this thing out full scale, to where people are not going to actually interact with these robots, these AI, man. So you know what they about to have? They about to have AI construction workers. They about to have AI police out here. They about to have AI teachers that are gonna look like human beings, and you're gonna be interacting with these things, man. This is the mind of the wicked. See, he actually wants to replace humanity with his own creation. See, which shows you that Esau, he got a God complex. He want to be like the Most High. That's his inward desire. All right, but he's gonna lay you off, destroy your life, to get you to accept what he wants to bring. Another one, Klarna, which I think that's a credit company. has 1,800 employees. It hopes AI will render obsolete. See, it says buy now, pay later. Giant Klarna has been making bold assertions that AI will replace its ambitious tech workers. And the company's CEO just gave the biggest hint yet to his employees that hundreds of them shouldn't expect to retire at the group. Well, damn. What more do you need to say? He told his employees, listen, you're not going to retire here. You know? If you thinking that you're going to retire, you're going to collect your 401k, you're going to get your benefits, you're sadly mistaken. All right? Which let's go to this. Let's go here to Isaiah chapter 36. And let me start at verse 5. It says, I say, sayest thou, but they are but vain words. I have counsel and strength for war. Now on whom dost thou trust, that thou rebellest against me? Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. So you know what? 2/3 of our people, the masses of the people of this earth, they trust in the broken reed of Egypt, man. This place is not a strong reed, it's broken. This place is broken in all facets, but yet you still have people here that believe in the American dream, or they want the American dream to come back. But it's all vanity, man. It's all vain. All right, because this is the time where the Most High, pursuant to Jeremiah 51, the Lord willing, we'll get that. But pursuant to Jeremiah 51, there is no healing Babylon the Great. There is no bringing this place back to its former glory, because now is the time for this place to be judged. The sins and the wickedness here has reached unto heaven. And one thing that you don't hear people saying is we need to repent. One thing you don't hear people saying is maybe these things are happening to us because we have disregarded the law, statutes, commandments of the Heavenly Father. No one's talking about repentance. Everybody's talking about Kamala or Trump, hoping that they can save the country, you know. But what they refuse to acknowledge is that your ass is wicked, and this judgment is befalling you now because you have pretty much spit in the Most High's face. And I'm mainly talking about, you know, Jake, man, because these heathen, you know, they're pretty much their time is up. You know, the time of the Gentiles is at an end. You know what I'm saying? But for you Jakes that's out here catching hell along with these heathen, man, you know, the Most High is trying to wake you up. He's trying to tell you something, and you need to take heed, man, because the man of the Lord is telling you what's going on. All right, we're telling you that the Lord is bringing that judgment, man. All right, unless you repent, you're gonna get caught up in that judgment. See, so it's time to, you know, it's time to wake up, G. You know, time is short. You know, the Lord's leniency is wearing thin for you Israelites. Okay, Wells Fargo layoffs mount. Right, Wells Fargo has shed hundreds of jobs in recent rounds of layoffs around the country. More are expected. The banks, you know, they laying off. Check this out. Apple lays off 100 employees in services division. Now, you tell me, right? Apparently, the reports that are coming out, you know, from these different, you know, news agencies and things like that, insider reports, they're saying that the economy is better than ever, right? They're saying that people are now working more than ever, which what it is, that's really BS. What it is that people now are working 2 and 3 jobs to make ends meet. So you'll have one person working 3 jobs, but on the report it comes up as, oh, people are having more jobs now. But that's really what's going on because the cost of living is so high. You know what I'm saying? Where people can't just work one job anymore and pay all the bills. All right, really, if you're working one job and you can pay all your bills comfortably, then, you know, you good, man. You know, because majority of people, that's not the case. Majority of people, they having to hustle on the side, they having to do this and do that just so they can, you know what I'm saying, function, man. But majority of people, you know, once you pay your rent and you know, so you pay your car note and you pay this and you pay that, you ain't got no money left. You can't save nothing. You know, you can barely afford groceries, man. And this is why credit card debt now is at an all-time high, because everything is going on credit now. People don't have the money to pay for anything outright. People putting gas on the credit card, they putting groceries on the credit card, man. You know, they're even putting miscellaneous expenses on a credit card. Okay, buying clothes, having to buy toothpaste and toothbrush and toilet paper. Like this is how bad it is out here, man. But people want this place to continue, though. People want to continue to live like this. Madness. Apple lays off 100 employees in services division, including key teams under Eddie Q, responsible for Books app and store. Right? So Apple's laying off, and Apple been laying people off, you know what I'm saying? But the point is, this thing is ongoing. It's not stopping. Which shows you that this economy, this dollar is about to be done, man. What just happened the other day? The stock market, the NASDAQ, plunged 1,000 points. Okay, so that shows you right there that these large companies, they're selling their assets because they know that the crash is coming. All right. GM, General Motors, announces it will lay off more than 1,000 salaried employees. All right, so everywhere that you look, people are losing their jobs, people losing their minds, because this adds to people's stress. Like when people don't have steady work, when they don't have a steady income coming in, it adds to people's, languishing spirit. Because at least if nothing else, jobs give people a sense of purpose. You know what I'm saying? It gives people a sense of, okay, well, I'm actually contributing to something, especially men. You know what I'm saying? But when men don't have work, it's like, what am I doing? Like, I'm just here doing nothing. The scriptures say that if a man don't work, he don't eat. All right? So you getting laid off, short notice too. Like, they ain't give you 2-week notice unless you know that you won't get laid off. Them niggas come to you on your work break and tell you, this gonna be your last shift, buddy. And after that you gotta figure it out. But that's that's what it is in Babylon the Great, man. This is why the Lord tell us to tell us that this is not our rest, to be as pilgrims in this place, man. Isaiah 19:15. It's like, let me start at 14. The Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Now, this Egypt that the scripture is speaking of, this is not speaking of ancient Egypt. Even though in ancient Egypt, they lost their jobs too because of those plagues that the Lord brought on the land. All right, the farms were dried up, all the labor jobs stopped because people were just dying left and right. You see what I'm saying? But the same thing is happening now again today in spiritual Egypt, modern day Egypt, man, which is America, Babylon the Great. And this is also the place where the Israelites were taken as bondage in captivity. Okay? And they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. See that? So the scriptures say that there's not going to be no more work for Egypt, man. The work here is drying up, and we see it. The reports are out there. Okay? And very soon, the work is going to be so dried up, in fact, to the point where the only work that people are going to have is to take their ass overseas and go to war. All right? That's what it's going to be, man. See what I'm saying? Because once again, this is a very well thought out plan by the elites of Esau Edom. Okay, dry up the jobs, right? Cause chaos in civil unrest in these cities, to where people don't have a peace of mind anymore. Then these wars are popping off overseas, right? So we need more bodies to throw out there. Well, if people are comfortable in America, if people have work, if they can provide for themselves, if they can go out and they can eat on their leisure and they can travel and do this and that, there is no reason for them to go to war. Well, we're going to cause chaos in the streets, right? We're going to take the jobs away. We're going to take away all avenues for people to feel safe, all right? So it's going to be a literal war zone in these cities, man. Well, what you going to do? You going to stay here in America and get your head blown off by some, gang of migrants, all right? Because, hey, these migrant gangs are running rampant out here, man, and police can't touch them, right? So either get your head blown off by migrant gangs, and when the food dries up because the supply chains are being attacked, there is going to be a blackout. You see what I'm saying? So all these things combined, all right, all these things combined outlines Jeremiah 30:7, Jacob's trouble, man. So this is the time of great tribulation. Friends are going to betray one another. All right, families are going to turn, man. All right, things are going to be very chaotic out here. So from these situations, they're going to say, listen, there's a war in Taiwan. The war this ongoing in the land of Israel. Okay, there's going to be wars in America. On the Alaskan border. You see what I'm saying? It's going to be all kind of wars popping off all over the place. Ukraine. You see what I'm saying? Iran. They're going to implement that draft and say, hey, if you go to war, we'll give you 3 meals a day. We're gonna give you shelter, housing, clothing. All right. We're gonna give you all this stuff, X, Y, Z. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be safe. Okay. People going, hey, look, in that day, people gonna think that that's a good deal. This is why the scriptures say that the bridegrooms, the young women, they're not gonna have no husbands because they're all gonna die in these wars. And there's already a shortage of men. Just matter of fact, just look at Ukraine, right? In Ukraine, pretty much a whole generation of young men have been killed off, man. So the young women over there, they don't have any husbands, right? They don't have any men to deal with them. You see what I'm saying? And they're being spoils of war as well. Russian soldiers going over there, having their way. It's gonna be the same thing in America, man. But this is why the scriptures say what it says, man. Because we're in that time where these things are about to come forth in its full fruition. All right, so the Lord ain't playing, man. Like all things written aforetime was written for our learning, for us to look and read and believe upon these things, man, to know that these things are coming back, and that the Lord, all right, is gonna make good on what He has promised, all right, through His word, through His prophets. See? But yeah, man, the work is drying up. People are very uncomfortable. People are very worried, anxious. You know what I'm saying? People are selling off their assets, man. Just trying to sell everything, finding ways to cope with this, bad situation, with these ill times. But there is no remedy for this, man. Because for many of these people, man, this is what they deserve. This is what they've had coming for a very long time, because they haven't, regarded righteousness, man. These people have lived very wicked lives, and now you're surprised that you're losing your job. Now you're surprised that you're going through hard time. Now you're surprised that you can barely eat. Your stomach is touching your damn back. All right? But at least now you can still see food right now. Very soon it's not going to be no food. It's not going to be any outlet for you to say, well, let me go to Publix or let me go to Kroger's or, no, it's not going to be none of that. All these places, once the power grid goes out, they're going to be stripped clean. You know what I'm saying? Which that's going to happen before the election. Klaus Schwab, they've already pretty much let you know that. You see? So things are very fragile, very volatile right now, man. This is why it's important to return to the Lord, all right? While the evil days come not. Because the evil days haven't came yet. Things are still relatively comfortable right now. You can go to the movies. You can take a walk in the park. You can still go to work and, pretty much live a normal life. Things are bad. But it's not like, things are that chaotic to where it's like, damn, like I'm afraid to go outside. Very soon it's going to be like that. Very soon you're going to be afraid to step outside, man. Because you're not sure what's going to happen. You're not going to see no police out here. Like if what should I say, when Kamala gets in office, because that's looking like that's what they're going to do. But when Kamala gets in office, she's going to defund the police. All right, she's going to leave the borders open indefinitely for more criminals, for more gangs to come into America. All right, for more UN and Gurga troops to come in here and have their way. You see? So you Jakes, you better know what you're going to do. You better know who you're going to call on. All right, but I say this. Whatever that you believe in, whether it's, you want to call on Buddha or Allah, or you want to call on God and JC, hey, let that be your God, man. Or if you trust in your money, let that be your God, and let's see if that's going to save you when all hell breaks loose. Let's see if that's going to save you when the UN come knocking at your door, when Esau come knocking at your door, and he want to question you for posts that you made online, all right, that are against the NWO narrative, okay? Let's see who's going to save you then, right? I want to get this. Hold on. Ecclesiastes 12:3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few. And those that look out of the windows be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the streets, when the sound of the grinding is low. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. See? So look, man, the grinders are few. Jobs are not there like they used to be. You know, people don't have a morale to work anymore, because it's like they're working, but they can't have a comfortable life. So it's like a lot of people have the mindset now of, what's the point of working? You know what I'm saying? F it. Because I can't save no money. I can't, I can't go on vacation. I can't do nothing. So what's the point? That's why it says, and those that look out of the windows be darkened, man. See, the doors are going to be shut in the streets. Nobody's going to want to go outside, because there's going to be so much chaos going on. This is what the scriptures is telling you. This is what the men of the Lord are relaying to you, man, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We're not coming into a very nice time. Things not going to be like this for too much longer. All right? We're months away, weeks away even, from complete chaos. All right? It's already happening around the earth. Bangladesh, UK, Australia, you see what I'm saying? Europe is already happening. It's only a matter of time before it comes here. That's the point. All right? It's only a matter of time. Ecclesiastes 2:10, because this coincides with Revelation 3:10, right? The hour of temptation. Ecclesiastes 2:10. Look at the generations of old, and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded, or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken, or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? Yeah. So look, man, we're in a time now where our faith is going to have to be, as it is written, the just shall live by his faith. We're going to have to live by our faith, man, which we're already living by our faith, because we believe, right? But it's going to be a different kind of walk in this thing, man, because we have some comforts in this world to where, we can go to work and get some money, and we can see things, right? But we're coming into the time where we're not going to see nothing that's going to give us any type of faith. Like, we're really going to have to be locked in like that in our minds, in our spirit, to be like, you know what? There is no food. There is no work. There is no outside protection from the police and all of this. I got to walk by my faith. I got to live by my faith, I got to truly believe on Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. Because there's nothing in this world that's going to aid you in this time. It's pretty much going to be you and the Lord, man. That's why the scriptures say, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. You see? That's why the scriptures say that. Verse 11, for the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering, and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in the time of affliction. All right? So, hey, if you trust upon Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and the Lord knows your heart too. You know what I'm saying? The Lord knows if you truly believe or if you don't, or what you're in this thing for. All right? The Lord can see all of that. All right? There was a brother that had a dream about the MOTB. And pretty much, he had said that a brother that he knew that was in the car with him when they got pulled over by the police, that brother took the MOTB. And this was a brother that was going to camp, faithfully. But he ended up taking the MOTB, man. So, this is why it's a fearful thing, because we really don't know, okay? We just really don't know, man. Like, it's really all up to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But, our thing is, to give diligence to make our calling and election sure. Like, we know that we've been called, but we don't know if, we're of the elect. So that's even more of a reason to be more locked in, okay? Because you could be going to camp, you could be doing shit, 3 or 4 videos a day, man. That doesn't mean that you're of the elect, okay? Like, that's the scary thing about it, all right? But ultimately, there's nothing that you can do to be of the elect, man. Like, you can be a sincere brother, But at the end of the day, it's all up to the Lord if you're of the elect or not. That's why it's important to remain humble in this thing. All right, because when worst come to worst, you're gonna have men, in your camp that unfortunately they gonna take the MOTB, but that's just their lot. All right, that's what the Lord wants, man. But hey, man, regardless of what it is, we got to continue on the straight and narrow path and just hope to pray and hope that the Lord have mercy upon us, man. That we be able to escape and that the Lord make a way for us through these things, right? Because the Lord is full of compassion and mercy and long suffering and pitiful, man. All right, upon His elect. So now I want to close out on this video from Cash Jordan. See what I'm saying? Because this adds to, really the reason why there's so much, why these stores are closing, why there's so much crime in these cities, because these things are adding to the economy being taken down. You know what I'm saying? Because everywhere you look, you have stores closing. You know what I'm saying? You have, big name, banks closing hundreds of branches. You know what I'm saying? You got supermarkets closing. You got clothing stores going down because of theft in these cities. And it's being allowed to happen by Esau Edom. All right? So this here from Cash Jordan, it says, NYC thieves raid Foot Locker and take everything. And this is deliberately being allowed to happen. Okay? And the same people that are going up in these stores and stealing these things, a lot of them have been set up by the likes of George Soros, by the elites. All right? George Soros has paid agitators, bad actors, as they say, to pretty much go in and just cause a ruckus, you know what I'm saying, so that these stores can lose money, you know what I'm saying, and then eventually it's going to become so bad, people are going to lose their job, the economy is going to go to shit, it's going to crash, and then they can bring in that digital system. All right, so we're going to play a little bit of this and we can close out. Lord willing, this lesson has been edifying so far, and now here we go. Hopefully y'all can hear this, because this phone speaker is kind of low, but hopefully, Lord willing, it should be loud enough that y'all can hear it.
Stealing to feed their families. No, instead, these are full-time shoplifters. This is their job, and they fear nothing.
These brazen robberies are often caught on camera, and you can see just how coordinated and quick they are. Dozens of people run into a store and steal items en masse, and that's exactly what happened inside this Nike store.
Now, this is happening at the Foot Locker in a strip mall. The front window appears to be smashed.
That guy right there has 4 boxes. That guy's walking out with 2 boxes, looking right at our cameraman.
As retail theft continues to climb, New York State leaders are pushing for more policing and also tax credits for businesses that improve safety.
Boosters like easy targets, and malls fit the profile perfectly. Branding stores do not want the bad PR.
Now, I want to skip to a particular part of the video, because he talks about pretty much that all these stores going down is adding to this worsening economy. You know what I'm saying? Because that's really the point of why these things are being allowed to happen, right?
Stealing whatever they can and leaving as fast as they can. Here are the images that were sent to Crime Stoppers. It looks like there's 4 of them. And to make matters worse, it looks like they're using stolen vehicles as their getaway cars, because they've got a different vehicle every time they hit up one of these stores. When they first started stealing, they were using a white vehicle for their initial robberies. Then they switched to a gray van, and their most recent heists have been taking place with a dark-colored Cadillac of some sorts. Definitely, we're talking about a well-organized group of thieves that knows exactly what they're doing and how to do it.
Now, again, like I just said, right? They got vans, and apparently these are petty thieves, right? But how are they able to pull off these elaborate, well-thought-out heists where they got vans and they can go in there real smooth and just get the product and just get in and get out, man? These people are being set up. This is George Soros. This is Klaus Schwab and the Rockefellers, man. They're funding the chaos, man. You know, this is the only thing that makes sense, because why wasn't this happening before? Before, if you would have tried that, the police would have been on your ass. But now it's just like, you know, hands off, go ahead and, you know, do what you got to do, man. You know, let me see if I can find that one spot where he talks about it. If not, it's all good.
About how these shady criminals operate and how much money they can go to work. And the fact that this is allowed to happen in any city in America is shocking.
Boosters like Easy Target.
And we're talking corporations with hundreds of locations.
Okay, yeah, here we go.
That tells us a lot. This is a fascinating look at a theft ring which operates out of New York City. And the first step in their process looks like it's selecting what they think is an easy target. We're talking corporations with hundreds of locations across the country. Apparently, these are the preferred target, not some local business which just has one owner and one location. Probably because nobody at a corporate mega chain is going to put their life on the line for
Yeah,
sneakers,
so they
t-shirts,
going for
or
those
hats.
big-
While the
big
workers
corporate
at small
chains, right?
family-owned business will do anything they can to stop it from shutting down, like this place. And big brands, they don't want their image stained by the sins of lawlessness. Just look at Lululemon. They don't lock up anything in their store, even though it gets looted repeatedly. They don't want their customers to go in and see the signs of crime and societal decay all throughout the store. It soils the customer experience in the mind of corporate executives. But the problem is these businesses, they have another way of getting back their losses from theft that a small business like whatever was in here doesn't have. And it hurts their customers without them even knowing it.
I'm not rich. I'm poor. I told you if I had money, I'd give it to you. I know what you were. And you were bad. This is never gonna stop it because there's other people doing it every day. Poor people. Because it's money. It's money, yes. It's not easy. It's not easy. A lot of people are scared. A lot of people are scared.
So it's important to understand that the shoplifting economy here in New York, $4.4 billion last year. What do you think big corporate mega chains do to get back some of that money? Well, it's simple. They raise their prices. They keep getting their money, and the criminals doing the stealing, they keep getting their money. In fact, the reason that crime is so popular is because thugs at all levels of these retail theft pyramids are making bank. At least until the stores they steal from end up shutting down. But the people we're following around in this mini documentary, they're the boosters. They're not the guys at the top. They select the targets, they do the stealing, and they bring the goods back to the warehouse, which is usually a private residence where the buyer is located. But what's fascinating about this is even these criminals, they admit that what they're doing is wrong, but they also admit that it's so rampant that even if they stop, that's not going to end the crime wave that's going on, stealing from stores like this. No, it's just going to keep happening, and they're going to make less money while all of this criminality continues around them, tempting them to get back into this life of stealing. And what's also fascinating is even though they consider themselves to be relatively poor, they don't associate their lack of spending ability from working a normal job as having anything to do with the high levels of crime that stores have to put up with, which they just roll back into the cost of their very same products. Like, look at Lawless. They've got security guards, and they're supposed to be a discount store. Where do you think they get the money for those security guards? Or where do you think a store like Macy's gets the money to run a plant?
Yeah. That's what a lot of these stores are doing now too. You know, they're putting security guards, you know, like armed guards in front of the stores now. And not only are they doing this at the retail stores now, but you're gonna see them start to do this at grocery stores. All right, because once this food start to dry up and you know they start to close down too because of crime, hey, it's gonna be a very different scenario in America than what you're used to currently, man. All right, so the Lord is bringing this place down in all facets. Okay, but all these store closures that are happening, all these looting and theft that's going on, this is being done to crash the U.S. economy. All right, once the U.S. economy crashed, all these nations are pretty much through. You know what I'm saying? Because they're attached to the U.S. economy. So this is why they're all moving towards digital, or they're moving towards real money like gold and silver, things like that, because it's more stable, man. All right, the U.S. dollar is on the way out. The petrol is done. You know what I'm saying? So now, you know, Esau, the elites, they about to do away with all this and move on to the next phase. All right, so Babylon's going out of business, man. Prepare for the crash, prepare for the fall, and it's going to be a rough ride. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close out here. Lord willing, this lesson has been edifying through the Rakah Kadash. In closing, call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopefully elect, Kom Yasha Allah, and the Bible Bowl. Shalom.